Hello everyone. So today we're going to study about types of poetic imagery. So let's get started. Imagery is a literary device that refers to the use of figurative language to evoke a sensory experience or create a picture with words for a reader. So whenever we read something or a piece of information, a piece of text, whatever we read is it automatically creates a vivid imagination in our brain. So we just starts to picturize everything whatever we are reading. For example, we're reading a story of Little Red Riding Hood. So whatever we're reading, we're just gonna make imaginations, the vivid descriptive imaginations in our head, that what color of dress was the Little Riding Hood was wearing and stuff like this. By utilizing effective descriptive language and figures of speech, writers appeal to a reader's sense of sight, taste, smell, touch, and sound, as well as internal emotion and feelings. So, whatever we read, if someone is living in a lavishing house, so we'll think of a lavishing house, right? If someone is eating the yummiest pasta, so we know that pasta which is yummiest. So it's again the sense of taste. The smell was, the smell was unbearable. All right. So the touch was soft. All right. So these sort of description, these sort of vivid description, the writer uses in his or her written piece to create imagery in your brain, in your head, and to give you a very beautiful experience of reading. For poetic imagery, there are seven primary types. These types of imagery often feature figures of speech such as similes and metaphors to make comparisons. As you all know, that similes and metaphors are used to make comparison. For example, as giant um, as brave as lion, for example. So comparisons overall. Poetic imagery provides sensory details to create clear and vibrant descriptions. So poetic imagery, what they're supposed to do, they give you a very sensory details to create clear and vibrant descriptions in your head, that whatever you are reading, and how what sort of imaginations you are doing while reading. All right, this appeals to a reader's imagination and emotions as well as their senses. Sometimes you read happy, you're so inclined towards happy reads, so you become very happy after finishing a happy novel. Sometimes they're scary, so you feel haunted after that. So the after effect that you feel and the imaginations that you do, sometimes people dream about just finishing a favorite novel. So it's just you're thinking, you're imagining about all the things that are happening in the story. So here are the main types of the poetic imagery. The first one we have visual. Visual is what appeals to the sense of sight through the description of color, light, size, pattern, etc. For example, the color of that cat was whitish and brownish stuff like this. All right. So it will give you a vivid description that what kind of the cat color was, and the light, size, and pattern. Auditory appeals to the sense of hearing or sound by including melodic sounds, silence, harsh noises, and even onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, are related to the sound. For example, thud of books. For example, just someone is putting a huge pile of books on the desk, so it will make a third sound. For example, buzzing sound. So onomatopoeia. So for example, we have a lot of sounds in English. We have third, we have whoosh, all right, whooshing sound. And then we have gustatory, appeals to the sense of taste, describing whether something sweet, salty, savory, spicy, or sour. For example, the food at that restaurant was sour. All right, so you know that the food that they just had, it was sour. So gustatory. And then now we have tactile. Tactile is what appeals to the sense of touch by describing how something physically feels, such as its temperature, texture, or other sensation. Alright, so tactile is something that when you touch, or what you physically feel about that. For example, the pillow was very soft in texture. Alright, the pillow was very soft, or some sort of sensation that you do after that you feel after touching something. So that is tactile imagery. And then we have olfactory, appeals to the sense of smell by describing something's fragrance or odor. For example, stench, smelly, stinky, ठीक है? And then beautiful, and then an appealing fragrance. These sort of things. For example, the odor, the food odor was yummiest. It was coming from the kitchen. So odor is related to the sense of smell. Kinesthetic appears to the reader's sense of motion or movement, to describing the sensation of moving or the movements of an object. Alright, how the objects are moving in the text, for example, and then how the person is moving. Is he how is his posture, how is sitting. So it's just kinesthetic. It's a formal gathering. So how the person is sitting, and in informal gathering, how the person is sitting. So it's just about movement, that is going to be in kinesthetic imagery. Now the last we have organic. Organic appeals to the appeals to and communicates internal sensations, feelings and emotions such as fatigue, thirst, fear, love, loneliness and despair. So organic imagery is the thing that deals with all of these things. Your feelings, happy, sad, anger, or you're feeling extremely in rage or something, emotions. And then fatigue, thirst, fear, love and loneliness, these are just examples. So these are the imagery is what create it's something that creates imagination, a vivid description about the whatever text you're reading. Again, so imagery is a literary device. Again, we have numerous number of literary devices in literature. So imagery is one of them. So the literary device, again, that refers to the use of figurative language. Figurative language, as you all know, it's something which is not literal, to evoke a sensory experience or to create a picture with words for a reader. Okay, but or just by reading the text, you just create or you just picturize the things in your head. That is all imagery. And then we studied also image after imagery, we also studied about main types of poetic imagery. We have visual, auditory, gustatory, tactile, olfactory, kinesthetic and organic. I hope everything is clear to you. If you have any confusion regarding these main types of portrait imagery, just do let me know. Allah Hafiz.